So, you have completed your lesson on January 1st. You are all ready and set to go for your exam and ready to answer all those problems and questions related to that specific topic. But when you open your notebook before your midterm exam, which is the day after of today, you feel like, have I ever completed this topic? Do I know this topic? So if these things has happened to you, then this video is absolutely for you. Even if it's not happened to you, still you are here for some reason. So let's start this video. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Sidratul Montaha, and in this channel I talk about real life problems we face, mistakes that we make, and the lessons that we learn from, some insights from the books that I read, and also some vlogs. So today's video will be about some study techniques or how to study effectively and should never forget. So these steps I hope will be very effective for you. So let's start. So, starting with the first point, which is baffle the curve of forgetting. So, psychologist says that this is absolutely the opposite of cramming. So, this mainly evolved in 1885, but it is still active till today because it has a vital role or has an important role in like remembering the study terms. So, today we will know how it actually works and how you will do it. For example, you have seen a specific person who wore like a red hat and a black jacket whom you have seen in a bus station the previous week. So for example, someone asked you today that do you remember someone who wore this type of clothes or this type of hat the previous week where you at that specific bus station where you were also present? So do you remember that person you have seen? So you will absolutely say that no, I don't remember, but actually you know that man, you have seen that man, but you have actually seen that man, but you don't remember now. But so why this actually happens? This actually happens because when we get a new information or when we give our brain a new information, we exactly for that specific moment we remember it for like 80 to 100%. But when the time passes, we actually start to forget that specific information if we don't try to recall it every day or within a specific time every day. So this actually mainly happens. So for example, if you try to remember that specific man every day from that very day when you have seen that man, you would never forget and easily would have answered that yes, I have seen that man, because you have trained your brain or you have tried to recall that piece of information every day. So for that reason, you didn't forget about that man. So let us go to the main point, which is what actually the curve of forgetting is and how you will mainly work. So let's say this is a picture and this is mainly the curve of forgetting. For example, on the left side it mainly shows the piece of information that for how much time you will remember, and this below here shows the time. So for example, you have known this piece of information from here and this is completely a new information for you. So you have learned this to 200% because you remember it now, newly fresh information you have remembered, you have given to your brain. But within the passing of time, at day 2, at day 7, at day 30, that information just is like the level of remembering that information is just going down and down, and it reached nearly to zero. So why did that happen? Because you didn't recall that piece of information, that newly piece of information within time. So this yellow line which is showing, this yellow spiral type of line, this line actually occurred when you were recalling that piece of information every day. For example, at day 2, you have remembered this piece of information for just 10 minutes. Then at day 7, after a week, you have remembered this information for just 5 minutes. And then at day 30, you have remembered this for just, or revised it for just 2 to 4 minutes. So let's now we have been seeing that the information bar line was just going down, but instead of that, because of recalling it every day for some few minutes, this line actually changed, and we are seeing that the line didn't go down, but it was just doing up and down. That means we are recalling it slowly and just keeping it on our brain for just like 70 to 80% of it will be remembered. So yes, this is how the curve of forgetting work. So if you don't remember or recall it daily for a short period of time, you will easily fall in the curve of forgetting. So this was actually the main point. Okay, so moving to the second point, which is active recalling. So many of you have heard about this term, but let me explain this through. So this is actually quite familiar to the curve of forgetting, like baffling the curve of forgetting. So this actually occurs when you have already learned a piece of new information, and tomorrow while you are having your lunch, you are just trying to remember those specific terms. For example, today you have learned about liver. Okay, so for example, tomorrow you are trying to remember what actually the function of liver is, what is the definition of liver, where it is present, what mainly does it do, what is its metabolism. You don't have to remember all those specific lines, you just have to remember what you have learned or some like thorough terms of that topic. So this is what active recalling is. Now you can remember actively through saying your notebooks or also through unsaying it. It doesn't matter how you actively recall, just do it. And also there are some strategies through which you can give active recalling. For example, teaching someone what you have learned, that will also give you a chance to like see that topic from different perspective than reading and reading the materials or creating flashcards if you have time. Then also you can go for practice sessions if you're having your exam tomorrow. That is really very much effective. So the third point is teach what you learn. So this is really an important term if you like if you want to remember that specific topic for lifetime. So one specific example is we are really curious about our teachers, that how they remember so much of stuffs even after teaching like for so many years continuously. So this actually happens, they teaches us the same stuffs for years. For that reason they have quite mastered in that topic. So here is the punchline, you have to teach to remember like in a better way. So for example, one thing that I face the problem that is sometimes the lesson is trying to teach me something, but I took it in a different way or misunderstood that lesson. So that actually happens to me. For example, for this reason, it is really very much important to share this with your like friends or group mates, to teach them, so it will actually cover up that thing. It will actually help you to learn that or know about that like the true one. Okay, so you will understand the real term of that topic. So this is really necessary. For that reason you have to teach what you have learned. Then if you have learned anything in an incomplete way, then teaching someone else will also help you to overcome this thing. Then so I have told this earlier that if you teach someone, then you will know that specific term from different perspective. You can compare that with different topics. You can raise questions and answer those. So the fourth point is learn and write. So like you have listened to a new lecture today, and this lecture is completely new to you and different from other topics you have learned previously. So what you have to do now is you have to first listen to your professor's lecture clearly, like what he is telling. You have to note that down in keywords or in short form, whatever you like. Then you have to go for like after you have listened to your professor, you have to listen it by yourself for you, that you will be studying by yourself completely now. And for that reason you have to make that topic completely understandable to you in the easiest way possible. In the easiest way possible, that means if your professor or that slide contains any type of tough vocabularies, then you have to make it easy, or you have to use any type of synonyms that is preferable to you. Because as I have said earlier, you have to make it easily understandable to you. You have to feel it like that you have to teach this to a student of kindergarten, so you have to like learn in that way. So after making it understandable to you in the easiest way possible, you have to take your notebook and start writing what you have understood. For example, let's take example of the liver. So if you know the definition of liver, or you have heard what your professor said about liver, where it is positioned in our body, you have to just write according to what you have listened or what you can remember. Up to that you have to write it. Then you have to go for the slide and just check if you have mismatched anything. anything or you have missed anything or not, then you have to like rewrite that again. So this actually helps because you have already settled that definition in your mind. So you have written down once and you will never forget, because one of my like teacher told me this, that if you write thing once, then you remember it for the time, like for the longest time like you are studying for. So this actually works like learning and then writing. So now you can easily replace those vocabularies with the easiest ones, because you have already known the term in the easiest way and you can define it to anyone. So the fifth point will be learning through visualization. So let's take an example. Here you can see a picture. So I will tell you to check this picture out for like 10 minutes straight and see if you can memorize these random numbers or not. So I have already seen this for 10 minutes, but unfortunately I'm unable to remember this or unable to memorize this. I don't know whether you can memorize this or not. Anyways, so this was one picture, and if we go for the second picture, which is this second picture, we have like 16 animal pictures in this. And if I ask you to see this picture for 10 minutes straight, I can guarantee that maximum of people will easily memorize it in for 10 minutes. So you can answer what type of animals are present here. So have you spotted the difference? Why am I showing you these two pictures to you? So this is what how visualization works. So this is actually the magic of visualization. So visuals etched into our brains than words do. So what does that mean? So according to Dr. Lionel Burmark, who is a writer, I think, so he wrote this book, which is the Visual Literacy, Learn to See and See to Learn. So what he said, that he is an education consultant who writes and speaks about visual literacy. So what does he say? He says, unless our words, concepts, ideas are hooked onto an image, they will go in one ear, sail through our brain, and go out the other ear. So words are processed by our short-term memory, where we can only retain about 7 bits of information. Images, on the other hand, go directly into the long-term memory, where they are indelibly etched. So now we have understood that if we memorize things or try to learn things through visualization, it will actually etch into our brain. We will not easily forget, because that will be spotted in a part of our brain, and you will never forget. I won't like to say this, you will not forget for this long time. So another thing you can do is you can relate your study to your real life terms. For example, if you are learning about your digestive system, then you can relate this topic to the previous day where you were having gas in your stomach. So if you relate these things, so if you relate these things and study in that way, you can easily remember. So this actually works, because if you are connecting your lessons to your emotions or your visuals to your emotions, that actually triggers, because visual memory is encoded in the medial temporal lobe of our brain, from which actually the emotions are processed. For that reason, I'm telling that you have to visualize and you can relate your emotions to that visualization. So if you enjoyed today's video, then please don't forget to give a thumb up to this video, and if you are new to this channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell, which is like not compulsory. And then if you want to see other videos of my channel, you can watch this one, which is like I have shared 4 easy steps when you are not in a mood to study, how you can study. So this video you can check out, and also you can follow me on my social medias, Instagram, Facebook, wherever I am. Twitter, I have given those link on the screen, or you'll get them in the video description. And also, if you are in a mood to watch other videos of my channel, you can check this video out and also this playlist. But if you want to share anything with me, then you can give like those message in my comment box. I will check those out for sure. And it was all for today. I hope you will stay safe. We'll meet again inshallah in the next video. Till then, assalamu alaikum.